It is hard to believe that 2012 was the last year that Europa Park added a major thrill coaster. And now, one of Europe's best parks is gearing up the marketing for their new for 2024 coaster that, in my opinion, looks like a Mack Rides masterpiece. Europa Park just released their POV for what honestly could become the best coaster in all of Europe, and all I have to say is, this ride looks amazing. Welcome to Theme Park Predictions. My name is Brandon, and I'm really glad you're here because you're going to learn so much about this new roller coaster that's opening up at one of the best parks in the entire world. And this new for 2024 coaster is going to be a Mack Rides Big Dipper. And the layout's going to feature 8 inversions, even though 2 of them could be non-inversions, but most likely you're going to get flipped upside down 8 different times, which is a lot for a coaster. But not only that, because this ride features so many different transitions and elements that are all pieced together and blended beautifully, obviously making this the best coaster at Europa and probably all of Europe. I mean, it has to be up there, top 3 maybe. Now, a Mack Rides Big Dipper features a train of 4 riders across that's usually around 2 rows deep. However, this version's going to feature at least 4 rows, maybe even 5, for a capacity of 16 riders or possibly 20, which really isn't that bad. And again, Europa is very busy, so I'm sure they're going to be running multiple trains on this, anywhere from 4 to 5 trains, especially due to how long this ride's layout really is. This really is a huge deal for Europa Park because this will become the park's 14th different roller coaster. And if you're not familiar with Europa Park, the park is home to some amazing rides like Wodan, the wooden coaster, Blue Fire, and Silver Star. And while I will admit that I'm a little bit shocked that this park, which I believe is owned by Mack Rides, or at least the Mack family, did not go with a Mack Extreme Spinner in this location. Because, as we know, Time Traveler and the Ride of Happiness are top-notch coasters. But again, this new for 2024 coaster looks top-notch. I'm just saying I'm a little bit shocked, but I'm sure that it was up for discussion. Or even maybe a Mack Hyper Coaster. All I know is I'm very excited for a future video I'm working on that breaks down all the new coasters from Mack Rides and how they really kind of compete with Intamin and RMC. And I share my thoughts on how Mack Rides is really upping the roller coaster design competition. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit, I'm paralyzed right now by watching this POV because I'm desperately wanting to go over to Europe to ride this and Project Exodus over at Thor Park in 2024. So I want to know who wants to go with me. Let me know in the comments. Let's plan a giant Europe trip because I have a ton of friends over there I have to pay a visit to and ride some coasters with. And this ride looks phenomenal. Now, if you're really intrigued by Project Exodus over at Parc Aerostax in France and Pantheon, then you're going to love this roller coaster because Mack Rides is really elevating their creativity and their game in the coaster industry with this ride. Not only does the theming appear to be top notch, but the ride offers so many different elements that we just don't really see on coasters, and I absolutely love everything about that. Now, before I share with you my favorite elements from watching the POV, I have to give a huge shout out to the Sparkling Eagle on YouTube because they created this amazing POV that you have to check out, and I recommend checking this out first before you watch the official POV of the coaster just so you can see the differences, and I want you to tell me which one you like best, the Sparkling Eagle version or the actual version that's coming to Europa. And you can find the links to both of the POVs in this video's description. Now, since Europa Park did not upload this video to YouTube, instead, they opted to upload the on-ride POV to VJoy, and I've never heard of this platform before, so that's why, out of respect to Europa, I'm not going to show you the full POV since they did not upload it to YouTube. But again, it's real easy. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video, and it's going to take you right to the POV, and it's free to watch. Now, if you're a fan of how roller coasters start off, then you're going to love this, because this new Mack Rides coaster features a vertical launch into an inversion, and that is how this coaster starts off. And then immediately following the first inversion, you're going to enter another twisted like corkscrew or barrel roll as you continue to gain speed throughout the first part of the coaster. From there, you're going to experience around 4 to 5 back-to-back inversions before the first non-inversion comes into place. And real fast, I have to say, I absolutely love this little booster launch right before the ride stall element. I mean, it's not even like a flat piece of track. It's at the bottom of the drop. And since we don't see this on many coasters, I'm just in love with this whole element right here because it's just such a great little surprise of, oh, there's a launch. You just don't expect it. And all of a sudden, you go faster to the stall element and you get the momentum for it. And as you're watching clips of this POV, you're probably starting to think that this coaster is a very long one. And yes, indeed, it definitely is. It would not surprise me one bit if this roller coaster is over 5,000 feet long. Now here's another element that I'm very intrigued about, the turntable. So the roller coaster appears to be ending and a lot of the general public will think that this ride's over with, but it's not, because you're going to switch around 180 degrees on the turntable, and from there, the train's going to enter the next block section. But the best part is, instead of launching forwards, the train's going to launch backwards up a vertical spike. And then as the train travels back down to the ground, you're going to enter another launch. And immediately following the launch, you're going to enter the ride's tallest element, I believe, and that's going to be the top hat. I really feel like the second half of the coaster really focuses more on the transitions and the airtime over the inversions. So you really do get a perfectly blended coaster of inversions and airtime elements and quick transitions. And at the time of this video, we do not know how fast this coaster goes, but I think it's a very safe bet that we're looking around 60 to 65 miles an hour. But the best part about this new roller coaster is the fact that this is a part of a whole new themed area that's coming to Europa in 2024, really making this park even better. Now with this roller coaster and Project Exodus over at Europa Park, both set to be opening in 2024, Mack Rides really is on a roll and I'm all here for it. Because they appear to be building top 10 worthy roller coasters, and that's great for you and I. So overall, I'm very impressed by this POV. I really do feel as if that this roller coaster is going to be a game changer for not only Europa Park, but also Mack Rides. And it's funny because Europa is a park where they really don't have a top 10 worthy coaster, much like Kings Island, Knott's Berry Farm, and Six Flags Great America over here in the States. So I'm really happy to see that Europa is adding a coaster that's going to be in all of our top 10s or top 20s once we all get a chance to ride it, if we do. And after watching this POV around 5 to 6 different times, I gotta say again, I love every element. The transitions are just beautifully placed together. When you mix that in with the theming, Europa Park really does have a winner on their hands. And again, my hat goes off to Mack Rides because keep doing what you're doing. And I think I can say this on behalf of everyone else, but that Epic Universe roller coaster from Mack Rides looks amazing as well. And again, I'm very pleased to see Mack Rides upping their game in the coaster industry, and I think it's great. So now that you know my thoughts about this roller coaster, what are your thoughts? Are you going to travel to Europa to ride this? Yes or no? And also, where do you think this roller coaster would go based on the POV and your top 10 or top 20 based off of what you've seen from the POV? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.